All right, hopefully somebody can hear me. Computer, of course, wants to start acting goofy. 1 second. Just making sure everybody has the updated link. Ready? Goofy. 1 second. Just making sure everybody has the updated link. Okay, I can hear myself. So, hey, Charlotte, can you hear me? Technical difficulties, you gotta love it. All right, I am muting some stuff on Facebook so that I can actually hear because there is too much stuff going on. All right. Technical difficulties, you gotta love it. All right, so I lost all the questions. All right, so you guys retype your questions if you're back on this, and we can go from there. Keep in mind there is a bit of a delay from what you're probably hearing and what I'm seeing. All right, so I lost all the questions. All right. I've updated every link in the group, so hopefully. If you're back on this, and you can go from there. Keep in mind there is a bit of a delay from what you're probably hearing and what what I'm seeing. All right, so all right, if anybody doesn't know where the actual chat function is on this, it should be to the right. There should be like a little box where you're able to type in whatever your question is. It's so funny seeing myself on the screen and there's like nobody else to talk to. All right, so I see a couple of questions in here, so I'm just going to attack those right quick. Pete says, where did I go? I'm right here. Let's see. I'll have to go back and see if I can find Ingrid's question, Charlotte. But I think you're right. I think it says something about how to make sure that your listings are seen, or how to get them to be seen more frequently. An easy way to get your listings to be seen more frequently is to go in there and make modifications. If you go into your listing and change a price, or change part of your description, or change your photos around, I do that all the time, or change part of your title. Once you save that particular listing again, it's going to give you a temporary bump. Okay, so that's going to give you a temporary rise in the rankings because eBay is seeing that you've inserted new information. And as we've all learned from the Cassini techniques, eBay loves new information. So the more new info you put in there, the better off you are. One thing that we used to do a whole lot, I mean, when I say used to, we still do it, is if we have a listing that's not making, the number of views that we think it should, or if we want it to be more active, we want more people to click on it. One thing that we do is rotate our pictures around. So we may have 3 or 4 good pictures, and remember, we always want at the very least 3 pictures on your listing. So we kind of rotate our pictures around. And if anybody came to some of our listing parties, I think we actually went over how to make your own picture, like a custom picture. And I can actually go over that or put a video out in the Houston group on how to actually make a custom picture based off of things that you can find on Google, or pictures that you can take, on your own, and combine them together to make a totally unique picture that you will be the only one on eBay or the internet with, and what that does is you may have an item that 20 other eBayers are also selling, and what it's going to do is those other 20 eBayers may have the same exact pictures, because 9 times out of 10 everybody's using the same picture. But now you've got a totally different picture for that same exact item. It's going to draw more attention to your listing to get people to actually click on it. So just to reiterate, to get more visibility on your listings, make some changes on your listing. So price, description, title, photos, add more of the descriptive type options that you have right where your title is, and then your picture. The next option underneath that has, I'm having a brain fart right now, so I don't remember the exact terms, but it's where you can put the brand name, the type of toy, the age range, those type of details. Go in there and add a whole bunch of those in there as well. And once again, that's going to give you even more of a boost. Let's see. Charlotte, you asked about finding hot items. Hot items are, they're everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere. On Amazon, if you go, and I'm going to come in here right now and I'm going to so I don't tell you the wrong thing. On Amazon.com, in your top toolbar, like right underneath your toolbar, you're going to see something that says today's deals. That's a good place to look for hot items that are, going really, really hot right now. Another thing that you can do is to scroll down about midway through the page on that home Amazon page. Scroll down about midway through there, and you're going to start seeing a whole bunch of items that Amazon is actually promoting. Those are really, really good places to get ideas. Another good place to get ideas, okay, on the Amazon home screen, or any Amazon screen, in the top section where it says search, there is a button right to the left of your search bar that says all, and it's got a little drop down arrow. If you click on that, it's going to give you all of the different categories that are out there. Okay. What I like to do is just pick a random category. So let's just say arts and crafts. If we click on arts and crafts and then type in anything like art, like I just typed in art, it's going to show you just some of the top products that are coming up for art. Now, one thing that you can do is actually go click on one of those items, scroll down to where you see the actual rank of that item. And if you don't know ranking, you get really into ranking once you start dabbling on drop shipping on Monopoly, like drop shipping, excuse me, not on Monopoly, on Amazon through Monopoly or using Genesis. However, the ranking structure can actually help you as a pro member, okay? Because that pro or even elite, by using that rank, you're going to know that this particular product is super popular, okay? You can find the rank, it's about 3/4 of the way down the page. It's usually right on top or right above the product description, okay? In there, you're going to see something that says Amazon bestsellers rank. And it's going to tell you that, hey, this product is number 12 in arts and crafts, or this product is number 4,000 in toys and games, or this one is number 1 million in books, okay? The lower the rank, the better, okay? The lower the rank, the better. Because say, for instance, in arts and crafts, like I'm looking at right now, say there are, I don't know, 4 million items on Amazon that are sold in arts and crafts in that particular category. The lower the rank, okay, means that's the status that that particular item has at any given point in time out of that entire 2 million. So if you see something that has a rank of like, maybe 200, can you imagine that item is ranked 200 out of 2 million? That's got to be a really popular item, okay? And even better, if it comes down into the double digits, if this item is like number 45 out of 2 million, come on now. It's the same structure as, if you were how the valedictorian in your graduating high school class was number 1 out of everybody, okay? So if you had 200 people in your senior class, a valedictorian is number 1, right? So anybody that's coming after that person, they're basically coming after them and getting lower in rank, okay? So the lower the number, the better selling that item is, okay? And if anybody doesn't understand what I'm talking about, we can always, reach out to me offline, or we can even touch more upon this on Saturday at the Houston meeting in person, because I think this is something that can actually help you guys a whole lot. If you grasp the concept of ranking on Amazon, you're going to see items that are selling super fast, okay? Because we use these as Genesis members, as Monopoly members. That's a huge piece that we attack and we study. All right, let me see. Another place that you can go to as well is on the eBay home screen. On the eBay home screen, there's plenty of options that are just, extremely popular at any given moment, which is why eBay actually takes the time to push those items out onto their home screen. So they're actually doing like sponsored ads for people on their home screen. So that's a really good place to look as well. The spidering, of course, that's all well and fine as well. Another thing that you can do is to look on the internet, see what's popular. What are the popular toys? What are the popular household accessories or bedding? Not just toys, but bedding, bath, furniture. Remember, all of these things are housed on Amazon. Uh, Pretty much anything and everything can be found on Amazon. Okay, it might be more expensive than some other sites, but a lot of times it's actually really well priced. So by dealing with Amazon, you actually have the entire gambit of products at your disposal. Um, let's see. Kat, you have some cosign or choosing a product? If you can type me something else in there so I can better answer that question. It says cosign dot 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 choosing the product. I just want to make sure that I get it proper. Um, let's see. What is hot except toys? What is hot outside of toys, I think, um, is what you're saying. Is it Anka? If I'm not pronouncing your name right, I'm sorry. But your question is, what is hot except toys? Do you mean like what is hot besides toys? Is what I think that you mean. Um, what's hot past toys? What I'm getting a whole lot of sales on right about now is bedding for some reason. On eBay, I'm not really getting a lot of toy sales. I'm getting a lot of air mattresses. Air mattresses, Christmas tree bags, and holiday ornaments. I'm trying to think of what else we've been pushing out lately. I think that's been my biggest thing right now is bedding, forms of bedding. That and also bathroom accessories. I don't know what it is exactly about bathroom accessories and bedding in the middle of December, but I'm pushing a lot of those out right now. You know, Toys are easy. Toys are convenient because, kids have birthdays, all year long. People give presents all year long. So toys are your easy way. They're an easy route to go. However, there's so many toys out there. One thing that you can do to get away from the toys, but still use the toy factor, I guess you can say, is to take those popular brands. I don't know if any of you guys saw it, but I think it was maybe in the last few weeks or maybe a month, I made a post that had about 12 different characters on there. So it was Disney Sophia the First, Disney Frozen, of course, Ninja Turtles, Bubble Guppies, Doc McStuffin. Oh, they're just so Hello Kitty. Anything Minnie Mouse is popular. SpongeBob is still popular. I think it's Octonauts or Aquanauts, something like that. Um, Power Rangers, things like this are really popular. But don't think just toys when you think of these popular kids brands. Okay? People don't always just go after toys. Think about bed sets. Think about beds, toddler beds, okay? Toddlers are probably one of the easiest selling factors that you can use on eBay. Take away toys completely. Look at toddler beds. Look at small child or toddler furniture. By furniture, I mean like beanbag chairs, the little couches, the small miniature furniture. I sold, I don't know how many of this little pink princess chaise lounge and a little recliner chair. They were like just a little hot pink nothing. I mean, they were like maybe 5 pounds combined. They were tiny, but they were perfect for, a 2, 3, or 4-year-old kid. And they weren't too expensive. They weren't overly large or anything like that. But those things appeal to a mass of people because people like to decorate their kids. Imagine anybody that has kids out there, how you were with your first kid, you want them to have all of this stuff. You want to decorate their rooms. If it's a little girl, you want the little princess stuff everywhere. A little boy, you want all, this popular boy stuff around. That stuff is extremely popular. Another thing to do is look at bathroom stuff. So like, I'll just say Disney Frozen, for instance. Disney Frozen, like bath sets. They have the towels, they have the shower curtains, the toothbrush holders, the soap dispensers, shower curtain rings, trash cans. Um, I think they even have like toilet paper at the dollar store. They had frozen toilet paper, facial Kleenex, tissues, body washes, all of these different things that you have at your disposal. Even have Q-tips. Yeah, you have all of these things that are also related to those particular popular toy brands. Okay, the Monster High is another popular one. Monster High. They've got trash cans. They've got desks. They have what are they? Dressers, like little storage units, little rolling storage units. I mean, I could sit here and go on for days about items that are toy related, but not in the toy category. Okay, so most definitely look into stuff like that. And then let me see. Don't forget about like I said, coming back to the bedding. Come back to the beds. Don't forget about the bedding. That's always there. Umbrellas, backpacks, stuff like that. So another way to look at hot items is look at your season. What season are you in? Now, here's a deal. When you're on eBay, kind of be careful about what season that you're in. A lot of times people like to shop for the season prior to. So if we're in, winter right now, the same way the stores are, the major stores, when you're actually in winter, they're actually starting to sell for spring and even summer. So kind of gear your listings around that same principle. Still list a few winter items that you think people would need now. For instance, like up north, if they have snow and things like that, they might need, a snowblower or a shovel. There is this salt stuff. Now, mind you, I'm in Texas, so I don't know a lot about snow. So, but I did do some research on this snow melting salt, and it turned out to be pretty good. So things like that, that people who are in those types of areas might need. The emergency food packs. For the life of me, I had never heard of these things until joining DS Domination. The emergency food packs are just selling like crazy. I had no idea that people went out and bought these containers of food that would last them for a year. If something were to ever go down, they'd have enough food for, 1 to 50 people, however many of these containers that they bought. It's pretty cool. So that's an option as well. So I hope I went over enough ways to find some hot items. Let's see. Excuse me. I think we went over how to get more traffic. Pete says, how is the price change in FedEx and UPS going to affect small business owners? I don't know that you're really going to feel that much, to be honest with you. The thing is, especially when you're dealing with eBay, you're getting such a steep discount on the fees that you're really not going to, have that much of an effect on anybody or anybody's business. At the end of the day, if there's an increase on the shipping price, you just increase your price that you're sending out to your customer. So that works across the entire board. It's going to be it would be no different than what any other company is going to do. So when something that affects the masses goes up, like look at all the food and stuff like that. When the price of corn goes up, then the price of beef, goes up goes up as well. So it'd be the same thing. So if your shipping costs are increased, then unfortunately, your customers are going to have to eat a little bit more of your fees. But the thing is, they won't know, and they probably won't even care, to tell you the truth. Excuse me, Jen, you asked where's the ranking? The ranking on Amazon, on your listings on Amazon, if you click on the actual listing and scroll down, there is a product detail section. Normally at the very bottom of the product detail section, you'll see a list out there, not a list, but you'll see a spot that says Amazon bestsellers rank. And in there, you will actually see the exact ranking of that item. If for whatever reason you do not see a rank, that means that that item is either brand new or has not sold yet. Okay, because Amazon ranking structure is not applied to an actual item until that item has been sold. So until an item sold, there's really nowhere for Amazon to put it on their list, on their rank. So once that item is sold, it will generate a rank, and that rank will fluctuate over time based on the number of sales or activity that that particular item gets. So items that have a lower rank, meaning they're going towards the top, basically, that means that people have been buying them more frequently. So the lower the rank, the more frequent that particular item is purchased. And of course, that turns back over to us where we're saying, okay, hey, this item has an awesome rank, which means people are buying it like crazy, which means people like it. So if they like it on Amazon, chances are they're going to like it on eBay as well. So that's how we kind of use it. And like I said, we'll go over ranking. So anybody who makes it to the Houston meeting on the 13th, we will actually, I'm writing that down right now so that I don't forget. And whoever goes, if I don't bring up ranking, then just, tell me something. So that will actually be our topic of discussion on Saturday. It's a really good topic for us to go over. Okay, so let's see. All right, Ingrid said, is a hangout being recorded? I think so. We'll find out when it's over. As many problems that I've had with this thing, there's no telling. Okay, Jen asked about using the DSD eBay calculator. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I did use that calculator when I first started. I stopped really quick, okay? I stopped really quick. At the end of the day, what you price your items is 100% up to you, okay? There's been too many times, if you've ever sat on Roger's Pro webinar, he has shown us time and time and time again how an item can be found on Amazon, say this cord, okay? Somebody could find this power cord on Amazon for $2, okay? You'll take that same exact power cord, move it over to eBay, and you will literally find people that sold that cord successfully for $2, for $20, for $10, for $6, for $14. Okay? We see this all the time. It wasn't until the point where I actually experienced it for myself to know that I could price my item. It doesn't really matter what I price my item at. It matters, about my title, my pictures, and my drawing the actual customer in. Okay. Now, of course, you don't want to just gouge a price out. You have to be within reason. But what's within your reason may be lower on somebody else's scale or higher on somebody else's scale. It doesn't matter, as long as you're content with what you are pricing your item at and what profit you are bringing back to you. Okay. So the way that I actually price my items in on eBay is I'll take the base cost of the item from Amazon. Okay. Take that base cost of the item from Amazon, add in any potential taxes. Okay. Even if I know there's plenty of states out there that don't have tax, so Amazon's not going to tax. However, you don't know who's going to buy your item. Okay, so because you don't know who's going to buy your item, taxes are generated on Amazon based off your shipping to address. So it's not based off of yours, it's your shipping. So if your customer is in, say, Tennessee, for instance, and they have a high tax rate, you need to make sure that you account for that. Because a lot of times, and a lot of you on here could probably, or you probably experienced, I did it myself, okay? We priced our initial items when we first started, didn't account for taxes whatsoever, and ended up either having to eat the cost of that, or we really, just couldn't maintain it and we had to cancel the purchase. Okay. I've done that a couple of times. I didn't cancel. I had to just eat it. But the way to get around that is I charge a flat 10% on my taxes, period. I don't care if the customer buys it from a state that doesn't have sales tax. Hey, the end result is, guess what? You get more profit for yourself, right? Nobody's gonna, make a sad face about that. I know I'm not, okay? So base cost of the item, I'll add in 10% for at least 10% for my taxes. Then you're looking at another, it's about 13 to 14% in eBay fees and PayPal fees. Um, so, add about 25% in to cover your taxes and all of your fees. Now, this is just what I do. You can do whatever suits you, but I'll take my base costs, whatever profit that I want to make, at least 10% for my taxes or potential taxes, another 14 to 15% for fees. Okay. So once you add all that up, bam, there's your eBay selling price. Okay. Um, there are spreadsheets that are out there on the Unit of Prosperity's file section. Um, I believe there's one in, if there's not one in the Houston group, we can actually save another one out there as well. I can save the one that I use. I started off with one of the ones that Roger had at the end of the pro training. And what I did was I just manipulated a little bit so that it can tell me, it can automatically add in the 10% for my taxes. It'll automatically add in, I think it's like 11 or 12% for eBay, and then another 3 to 4% for PayPal. And, a lot of times I would rather overestimate than underestimate. Okay. So you're taking the base cost of your item, you're adding in your profit. Once you get that, you're going to multiply that by, just say, 0.25, which is going to be your taxes, your 10% for taxes and your fees. And that's going to be the amount that you would add in. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, shoot me a comment and I'll go over that one more time. But as far as profit is concerned, you pick that. Nobody's going to tell you what to put for your profit. Roger always says a minimum of $3. And the reason he says a minimum of $3 is so that you are making money. You don't want to do all of that work, to put this listing up on eBay, to maintain this listing, to make 40 cents. That's not good. Okay. So when I first started pro, $3 wasn't enough for me. I needed to have more. So I set a base of at least $5 to $10. Okay. $5 to $10. Now, of course, your profit can go way above that. But if I could not make somewhere at least between $5 and $10, I wouldn't even bother with that listing. Okay. Would not even bother with it. Just push it to the side. Okay. Because it's not worth your time at the end of the day. It's just not worth all the effort that you're going to put into it. So I hope that's helpful. If you have any other questions on that, then please feel free to shoot them on over. If anybody else has any more questions, go ahead and put them in the comment section. Otherwise, I'll start rambling, and then there's really no telling how long I can talk. Another thing that I'll tell you guys about is your listings on your My eBay page. Okay, on your My eBay page where it shows all of your eBay listings, keep an eye on that. Just because you put up a listing does not mean that it has to stay there for the full 30 days. Okay, you don't want to waste space. I've called and talked to eBay representatives numerous times, and I've been told directly from them, if it's not moving, if it's not getting any traffic, and you've tweaked, a few things on it, you've played with the title, you've played with the pictures, you've played with the description, you've played with the price, and still nothing, it may just not be that time for that item to sell, and hey, that's no problem. Take it down. If we only have certain limits that we're dealing with on eBay, and you don't want to waste your limits out there on items that aren't moving. So in the middle, on your My eBay section, you have a piece where it shows you how many views you have and how many watchers you have. If you're going for an extended period of time and your listing is like getting 0 views whatsoever, you need to make a decision that's based off of what you feel as to whether or not you need to keep that listing up. Okay, there have been plenty of items where I'll look at it and it's sold a couple of times before, maybe not for me, but for other people. But I may not be getting any views on it or anything like that. And I've done everything I could possibly do to get this thing to move. It just wasn't its time to move. Take it down. Put something else up and give it a try. You can always relist that item at another time. Okay. and try it again. Because, as you sell more items, you're going to start to see a pattern. Sometimes you can list something, it'll get no views, and then all of a sudden, bam, it sells. And then sometimes you can list something, it will get hundreds of views and never sell. It's just the craziest thing ever, but those are the times where, you kind of have to use your researching skills. Look on eBay, there might be another seller that is just killing that particular item. And at that point, you kind of have to make the determination, do I want to stay with this? Do I want to take a new picture? Do I want to maybe lower my price a little bit? Maybe not sell that item by itself, maybe consider something like a bundle, and kind of go from there. But do not be scared to take down a listing. Okay? All right. I typed something in here. I was going to talk about something really good, and I totally, there it is, bundles. Okay. All right. So, oh, wait, and before I talk about bundles, Jen said, so do we just end a listing and relist something else? Yes, Jen, end it and relist or list something else completely new. Okay. Let me talk about relisting and sell similar right quick. Okay. I believe some of the old pro training, Roger made mention of hitting the relist button, and sometimes your account would have an option to automatically relist. Do not select that. Okay, we do not want to automatically relist. As a matter of fact, we do not want to relist anything unless it has sold. Okay, the only time we want to hit the relist button is if the item has actually sold, and we're hitting that relist button from our sold section on the My eBay screen. Okay, if something has not sold and it falls into your unsold section on your screen, you do not want to relist. At that point, you want to hit the sell similar button. Okay, sell similar is going to be an option to the right under, I believe it's either more actions or actions. It's a little drop down to the far right of your listing. Okay, sell similar, what that's going to do is create a totally brand new listing for you, totally brand new in the eyes of eBay. However, because it's your item and you're using sell similar from your item, it's going to automatically pull over your title, your pictures, your description, your price, all of your settings. The only thing you have to do is go in there and hit list. Okay? Super simple. Now, if some of you may have seen that sell similar option on other people's listings, it's going to have a different effect. If you hit sell similar on, say, you come to my account and you want to sell one of my items and you hit sell similar, you're not going to pull over my photo and my description and all of my settings. The only thing you will pull over is my title. Okay? But remember, you want to only hit that sell similar from your item so that all of your information pulls over. And when it does that, and when you list that item, even though it's the same exact thing that you had up before, just didn't sell, even though that happened, it's still your listing. But because you hit sell similar, eBay looks at it as a totally fresh listing. Fresh listings get a higher bump in the ranking structure in Cassini than a relisted item. When you relist an item that did not sell previously, okay, when you relist an item that was previously unsold, eBay does not look at that as a new listing. It looks at that as an extension of the old listing. So in Cassini's eyes, that listing is not 1 day old. It's 31 days old. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay. All right. Jen, you said, how do we bundle again? Okay, so see, I get sidetracked easy. Bundling. All right. You may see a lot of people talking about bundling when they're dealing with Amazon, or not Amazon, when they're dealing with selling on Amazon, not selling Amazon items. Okay. So what bundling is basically you creating your own fresh new item by taking multiple existing items and selling them together as a set. Okay? What I mean by this, and I've done this numerous times, I did this as a pro member, I did it as an Elite member, and I kill this as a Monopoly and a Genesis member. Because what it does is it gives you a competitive edge against other sellers. Say, for instance, there is, say, a toddler bed, okay? And I did this myself. There was a frozen toddler bed for sale, and it was going for a reasonable price, and it was, for sale by itself. Okay, did a little bit more research and actually found a table and a little three set of like a drawer, like a storage drawers, and a toy bin. Okay, so by doing that, I was able to get three like items that I know if somebody's going to buy their kid a bed, a particular specialized type of bed, why wouldn't they want to go that one extra step and maybe just do their entire room over? So have the matching bed, have the matching storage bins or table or, set of drawers. So what I did is I took the bed, it wasn't the drawers, it was the bed, the storage bin, and a chair. I took all three of those. I actually made my own picture on Microsoft Word by taking the three items, putting them on a Word document, taking a screenshot, cropping it, bam, I have a new picture that nobody else has. Okay. And I sold that about 15 to 20 times over the course of about a month and a half. Okay. And that had a pretty healthy profit on it because I was the only one with it. Nobody was offering a bed, a bed, a chair, and a toy storage bin. Nobody was offering that at that time. If you look on there now, everybody's selling it, but at the time, nobody was selling that. Okay. So that's an extremely profitable way that you can make creative listings for normal items. If you see an item out there, for instance, even if it's a toy, say for instance, you see a Ninja Turtle toy out there that is just selling like crazy, but it may not be a very good profit. Okay, how about find that Ninja Turtle toy and maybe put it with a blanket, a Ninja Turtle blanket or a Ninja Turtle backpack, something simple. So now you've made a standalone product that nobody else has. You've got a custom picture out there because you made it yourself. Anybody that came over to my house for the listing parties, we actually created photos, and and went from there. We created photos of our own product, not our own product, but a product that we found on Amazon. So that we could stand out, we could stand out on our listing. The first thing a customer normally sees is the photo, and now you've got this really hot bundle that nobody else has. This works in everything. So food, remember, Amazon has food on there too. You can sell food, food bundles, toy bundles, pet bundles. What about something for, new puppy owners or new kitten owners? They might need a bowl. They're going to need a leash or a cage, or a blanket, that new pet. Babies, a baby might need, a changing table or a diaper bag and a changing pad, or, anything, anything like that. Just be super creative, and, you'll do extremely well. And my thing is, especially with pro or anything on DS Domination, you're going to start off at pro. And the idea is for you to progress and go to Elite, Unleashed, Monopoly, Genesis. By learning all that you possibly can and perfecting it in the pro level, you're going to be leaps and bounds ahead of people who just went straight to Monopoly or straight to Genesis. Okay? I say this from experience. I worked my behind off in pro. I did all of these different things in pro and Elite. I did all these different things in Pro and Elite on eBay. I tried new things. I did the bundles. Nobody was talking about bundles. I used to sell furniture bundles, where there may have been a really cool coffee table that everybody was selling, but they were selling it by itself. Well, I took that coffee table and then found the matching not a nightstand, but the end table, maybe a TV stand, and now I bundled 4 items together, sold it for 10 times the price, and made killer profits. Nobody else was doing that. Okay. That is an option for you. Okay. Make sure that you're using all the tools available to you to make your business successful. Okay. Just by being in pro does not mean that you cannot bundle with Amazon items. You totally can. Just make sure that you are staying on top of them so that they're in stock. That's always helpful to have stuff in stock, but be creative with it. Be absolutely creative with it. Another thing, just because an item is not on Amazon. Say, for instance, you go grocery shopping. Say you're at Kroger's, okay, or HEB. Everybody knows that Kroger's and HEB, if you've got a good one near you, they've got some crazy good stuff. If you find something with a deal that you can just grab and take home, pop on eBay, hello, who says that you can't do that? Who says that you cannot do that? You can totally do that, all right? So be creative. When I say be creative, use what's around you to make more sales, to make profit. Another thing about being creative is use what's in your house. That's a quick way to get out of PayPal holds. Use what you already have. Ladies, you've got purses, we've got shoes, clothes. When I tell you that these things sell so well on eBay, it's nuts. My mom has gone through my entire closet, and we've had pants, shorts, jackets, everything. It's absolutely profitable. Okay. I think I may have like one or two purses left. Everything else is gone. And she's got people who have gone into bidding wars over purses. And I'm just like, for this thing, people, you're going to pay us $100 and something bucks for this, whatever, but don't just limit yourself to what is on Amazon. Use what's around you. And once again, this is going to benefit you when you come, and start your upgrading process, because that's our goal. The goal is not for you to stay on pro for your entire DS domination career. Your goal is to get to the top. The top in our platform is Genesis. The top is doing FBA, sitting back, letting Amazon do the work for you. Okay. Branding your own items, making your own products. That's where we want to be striving to get. Okay. That's where I want you all to get, provided if that's what you want. Nobody's going to force you to go there, but if that's what you want, then that's what I want for you as well. Okay. We have one more. I'm just checking the group to make sure that everybody is in here. If there's any other questions out there. Okay. Says, how do you make sure your listing is just stateside? I unchecked international shipping, also state. If you had the question on to make sure your listing is stateside, then can you shoot me a message on Facebook and I'll answer that one directly. I don't want to confuse anybody who doesn't have international shipping by asking that one, or by answering that one. All right, let's see. Pete, your Google question, that's the same. There's no change in that one, so that search method actually still works. Yeah, Charlotte mentioned that La Madeline does have Wi-Fi, so if you can, most definitely bring your laptop so we can actually get down and dirty into it, because this training that we'll have on the 13th is going to have us, pretty much ending the year with bang and starting 2015 off the right way. I actually started DS Domination around this time last year as well. I kind of didn't do anything with it. I didn't really get full blown until early January. And I actually did super well, on eBay. I became a power seller within that first 3 to 4 months on there. And that started in January. So we are coming back into peak season where people have all of these, ideas. They're shopping, they're coming off of Christmas. They may have saw, oh, Susie got this, really cool thing at Christmas. I want one too, blah, blah, blah. We made so many sales from January to April on eBay. I mean, and we still made more, but I mean, as far as that period of time, that's when I was predominantly focusing on just eBay. Um, so yeah, we are coming into a really, really good time. Jen asked about how do you do the pictures? Okay, I'm gonna actually post, and I'm gonna write that down too so that I don't forget. I made a post in the Genesis group about a really cool tool to make your own pictures. Okay, and I will post the same thing in the Houston group and in my personal team group. There's some really good options out there for you. One thing that we do is, I used to take pictures on my bed, on my comforter, or on the carpet, which is fine, which is 100% fine because we're dealing with eBay clientele, and eBay, the people who shop on eBay have a totally different standard than people who shop on Amazon. So a picture on my bed, on my comforter with my wrinkles and stuff like that everywhere is perfectly fine on that platform. Um, on eBay, you know, you want to be a little bit more presentable if you can. And one thing that we do is we use a trifold poster board. Okay, you can get them at CVS, Walgreens, Target, HEB, Walmart, whatever. It's those large trifold white poster boards. Basically, you just want a flat surface that is all one color, no seams, no, indentations. You don't want anything weird. Okay, flat surface. We take all of our pictures on that now. We have two of them, and we have two because sometimes you have some longer items, like if you have clothing or something, you can actually spread it out. So put them side by side and put your, pair of pants or a jacket or whatever on there. And it actually helps out a whole lot. So that's an easy way that we do. We take pictures on a trifold whiteboard, just with the regular cell phone, nothing major. I didn't go out and buy some expensive light box. No, I didn't do any of that stuff. So I will actually show you guys a video. I'll post that same exact video out there in both the Houston group and my team group so that you guys can see what I was talking about, because it will totally work for eBay as well. Let's see. Kat's asking, when should you set up a second eBay account? Okay, this one gets kind of tricky. We actually have 5. Now, one thing about the eBay accounts is when you first start, if you just started your very first eBay account, do not be in a rush to open a second account. Okay, eBay sees you opening a second account as you're trying to bypass their limits. Okay, their limit restrictions. So basically, if your limits are 100 items or 5,000 per month, and you reach the limits, they haven't given you an increase yet, they'll take that and see that, okay, well, now you've opened a new account with an additional 100 items and 5,000 limit. You're basically trying to circumvent the system and get 10,000 limit each month. Okay, what I would do is make sure that your initial account, if you have holds, make sure you're out of holds. Okay, which means 90 days from your first date of sale plus the other 2 requirements. Okay, once your initial first main account is out of restrictions, no more holds, you've successfully, received 1 or 2 increases from eBay. I don't care if they're manual, automatic, increases where they just give you an increase, or if you call them and request an increase. Wait until your account is out of that probationary type period. Okay, you've got sales, you've got good feedback, you've got, activity on your account. Okay, at that point, I would give them a call. Okay, and make mention of, say, hey, I'm doing well on eBay. Of course, you see my account. I'm doing blah, blah, blah. I want to open up a second account because I want to have a more specialized service for my customers. Okay, eBay does not allow you to have multiple accounts selling the same items. So if you've got your main account and you're selling, beds and toys and stuff like that, you cannot open a second account and sell those same exact items. Okay, you have to segregate your items. Okay, so if you call them, let them know what's going on, there shouldn't be any issue. Okay, when I first started, I'd had my main account before. I never really did anything on it. So I opened a new account and called eBay and said, hey, on my second account, I'm only selling pink stuff, okay? Nothing else. And they were like, oh, okay, no problem whatsoever. And they increased my account. They basically gave me the thumbs up. So kind of gauge it on what your account is doing, what you are doing on your eBay account. You don't want to just rush into it. Make sure that there's a reason for it. You know, you don't just want to open an account because you've got so much negative feedback on your main account, and that's your way of beating the system once again and starting over fresh. eBay doesn't want you to do that. They want you to fix, you know, whatever the errors were that you were having. Um, 1 second. Okay. I'm getting questions coming from all over the place. Okay. So that's my deal on the new accounts. It is possible. Just wait until that you've gotten to a point where it's feasible for you to open a new account. And let me tell you this too. When you start to get your eBay accounts increased, your limits increased, it's work. It's work. The more items that you have available to sell on your account, the more work it is for you to, number one, find that item, maintain, you know, the availability of that item, and to process orders. Okay. You need to make sure that when you start to open new accounts, or that as your business grows and you start getting these various increases to your main account, that you can sustain them. What you don't want to do is grow so big so fast that you cannot process your orders, and now you start to get negative feedback, you start to get unhappy customers, you start getting all kind of stuff. Know your limits, basically. Especially when you start to upgrade and things like that, because when this stuff hits, a lot of times it comes out of nowhere. Okay. I used to call eBay every month religiously. I called them on the 15th of every month and was just waiting for my increase. And I got an increase every month, period. No question. And I was always getting my account doubled. My limits were always being doubled or increased at least 75%. Um, I actually stopped calling in for increases when I hit 60,000. I can list on my main, even to this day, even to this day, on my main eBay account, I have 1,000 items or 60,000 limit, and I am not increasing that. At this point, I'm not increasing it at all. Unless eBay increases me automatically, I am not calling, because that is enough for me at this point in time. I've got enough stuff going on, because mind you, I still have other accounts that also have higher limits, and I don't want to dump all that on my plate. Okay? I still have Amazon, which is what I primarily focus on, because it's the big breadwinner, you know, so I know my limits. So my extreme advice to you is to know your limits, know your boundaries, and set realistic parameters on yourself. You know, you don't want to say, I can handle a $2 million account and still work my regular 40-hour plus a week job. Is that, you know, really, can you? You know, you really need to think about that, because these orders start to come in and it can get hectic sometimes. It can really get hectic sometimes. Um, AJ says, if I had an item that I put multiple listings for and I sold one, but I have not sold any more after that, should I take down the multiple listings? Um, on an item such as that, I believe you're saying that you have an item on there that you put multiple quantity out there for that particular item. Um, I wouldn't bring it down just yet. I mean, unless it's just not getting any traffic whatsoever. You know, your listing's only 30 days. I would just let it go until the end of that 30 days, especially if you've already sold something. Reason being is because when you have a listing that has a quantity greater than one, it actually shows the potential customer or potential buyer that, you know, that this particular item has already been sold, and it'll say, hey, you know, there's 9 out of 10 still left, you know, or there's 9 remaining, or this person sold one in the last hour or the last day or whatever. It's actually more appealing to people so that they can actually see that your item has been sold before. um, you know, but like with anything, sometimes people want it, sometimes they don't. You never know. I would play around with it for a little bit, play with the title, play with the picture, even adjust the price sometimes. What I tend to do a lot is I look at the China suppliers, and I will look at their listings. And if you look, sometimes these people have sold like 3,000 items. It's nuts, but you can see that they sold them for various prices. And what ends up happening is they'll look at their statistics. And if this item is selling a lot at $9.99, if they increase it to 12, it's still selling. When they go to 14, sales stop. So they bring it back down to, 12 or 11. So play with the price and see what happens with that. And, at the end of the day, I would, at that type of listing, I would probably just leave it there until the end of the month or the end of that listing once it hits 30 days. And then, at that time, you can maybe sell similar, but maybe not do the higher quantity. Maybe just do one and see how it goes. Um, Jen and Pete, about that Google thing, I'll actually go out there and look because I believe, well, you know what? Let me try it right now. I still have it on mine. I just right clicked on something and I see it. So maybe we can talk offline and see what's going on with that. Um, Jen, how do we bundle pics from pics online when listing bundles? I'll actually put a video on that, Jen, about how to combine multiple pictures together. Because it sounds hard, but it's really, really easy. And you're going to be like, oh man, I could have been doing this forever. All right. So if you guys have any more questions, I think I've been rambling for about an hour, which is not bad considering all the problems that we've had with this thing. It'll be much smoother next time. All right. If anybody doesn't have any more questions, I'm probably going to end this pretty soon. And if you have any more questions, if you're in Houston, and of course, bring them on down to our meeting on the 13th. Ask them in the group. We're here to help you guys succeed and push forward. So if you have anything, if you need anything, reach out. If there's anything that you guys want to get videos on or more, more information on, then by all means, shoot it over. Remember, our meeting is on the 13th at La Madeleine on, I believe it's 1960 and 290, and we are going to go over photos and ranking, Amazon ranking, and how you can actually use it. And I will be posting some videos out there on the ranking and also some photo stuff. So we'll get into that and we'll just attack it. All right. So this was our first of many to come Q&A hangouts. I promise I won't take that long to get back on the next one. Okay. I won't have so many technical difficulties, but hey, we're always here. If you have any questions, like I said, you know where to find us. So I'm going to end it on that one. Talk to you guys later.